Welcome back to Creators Club with Kimmi, where I teach content creators and entrepreneurs how to grow their online business, how to have passive income while they are sleeping, and then also how to build a business that they've always been dreaming about. Yes, let's go. I always say, babies have a YouTube channel. Why don't you? Let's go. So today we're going to talk about really quick how to turn your skills into a full-time business, how to turn it into something full-time. A lot of you have side hustles, and now you want to know, can I really be a content creator full-time? Is that all you do, Coach Kimmi? It's not all I do, but yes, I am a full-time content creator. When someone mentioned that before, some years ago, I kind of took offense to it. I was like, they said I was an influencer. I think that's what they said. I was just an influencer, or just something like that. It was something, but the way they said it, it wasn't with pride. It was kind of shady, right? I was like, hater, you think I care? No, I'm laughing all the way to the bank. How about that? So I don't care about haters, y'all. We can talk about that another day, and we will talk about that, because as you start doing social media, your friends and family are going to see you. They're going to comment. I see you everywhere. And sometimes it's not always bad. I had one person that needed some work that I, in my other service that I offer. And when I talked to him, I said, oh, thank you for thinking of us. He was like, how could I not? You're everywhere. And I said to myself, oh, it's working. Let's go. Okay, so that's what you want for your business, and that's how you turn it into full-time, and that's what we're talking about today. So how do you turn your skills into a full-time business? First of all, we need to identify what you're naturally good at. Again, I always say, if it's not something that you enjoy, something you could talk about forever, like without a script, you probably don't need to be trying to teach it, and you definitely won't make full-time money at it, okay? Most of us, to make full-time money, what the average person make about $40,000, $50,000 a year. Can you make that doing content creation and having online businesses and online services and courses and stuff? You can. You just have to be good at what you do. Anything you do, you have to do it well. You have to be consistent. You have to show up. So we're going to talk about that. So again, but the first point is, before you can go full time, find something that you really enjoy. Find something that you're naturally good at, something that you could talk about forever. And not just talk about it, but talk about it with enthusiasm, right? Nobody wants to hear you, no, you need to be able to talk boldly, talk confidently. Yes, I sell chocolate chip cookies, dog it. I can show you how to make them. You see the difference? Okay. Then you also want to be able to take your skill and your talent and package it into a service or a product, okay? A digital product. So again, here in the Creators Club, guys, well, I'm all about that digital money. I want you laying in your bed at night making money. So what does that look like? I want you selling ebooks. I want you selling courses. I want you to have a blog. I want you to have a YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, email list. All of these things, podcasts, all of these things help you to get clients. So they're finding you when you're sleeping. So when you're first starting out, yes, it's going to be a little intense. Yes, you have to create content like you're crazy. Okay. This is not for the lazy person. It's not. You have to have a good attitude. You have to show up, and you have to love what you do to be a content creator. There's no workarounds for that. It's not. If you really don't want to be a content creator, and there have been many people that I've tried to kind of force into it, because I'm like, I love their story. I know they got something to talk about. But guess what? I could love their story, but if they can't present that story and share that story in a way that's going to touch people, then they ain't got no business. And they're not going to do it anyway. I mean, they don't do it. So again, you got to want to do this from your heart. And especially if you're talking about full time, leaving your job. Okay, so to make it work full time, I'm going to tell you what I do, what I've helped other people to do, and what you can do and think about. Okay, so again, don't leave your full-time job tomorrow, but is it possible? Yes. So what does that look like in order to leave your job and do content creating full-time? Practically, what we're going to do, we're going to find a topic that we like, that we enjoy, that we love, right? Then we're going to start creating content around it. I always recommend YouTube, especially if you're in the education space, because that's where people are going, and they like longer content. And that means they're able to watch you. They can spend 15 to 20 minutes with you every day or twice a week or however often you're putting out content. And then by the time you ask them to sign up for your community, or you sign up for my course or my ebook, then they know, like, and trust you, right? So that's where I always recommend. So from there, this is my actual process. What I did, I started my YouTube channel, then I wrote my ebook. right? From my ebook, people kept asking me for my comments. We talked about that before. In the comments, I was able to determine, oh, these people need a class on how to do ABC. They really don't know how to do it. So I started doing a class. So that's also part of how I make my money full time. I do teaching. At one time, I did live teaching. I've done one-on-one training. Some people prefer one-on-one. Some people prefer, I've done group trainings. So I do group training about my niche, right? I also have a digital book, ebook, and then I have a paperback book. Then I also created journals because people want to be able to record what they're doing or need to. So even for this book, I have 2 books that I've started. The actual How to Start Your YouTube book, and then also How to Start Your Business book, right? So you write books, ebooks, and then I have journals. I'll just show you that too. So this is all the same thing that you can do for your business, whatever industry you are in. So I have journals, okay, that I've created for my people. You see, I have journals. So all of this goes into how I make my money. So then I get a check from YouTube. I get a check for the journals. I get a check for the books. And all of it is not always all big, to be fully transparent, but it's okay because if I get 200 from this person, 300 from that person, 1,000 from the training, then you got your mentorship. I mean, it's just all different avenues. Even the podcast. Now, I don't get paid from my podcast. I want to talk about this. I don't get paid from my podcast, but I get clients from my podcast. People are listening to my podcast and then they come over to my actual website and then they buy my product. So there's more than one way to get paid. We got to open up our minds to people. Sometimes we're thinking, well, in order for me to be full-time, I need to be getting a full check from this person, a full check from that person. No, you may be getting referrals from all the content that you're putting out. That's why content is king. Content is queen. Okay, content is everything. Okay, so we talked a little bit about how to start this business full time or how to start your online business full time. And the other thing is kind of listen to your people too. They will tell you what they need. So I started out doing one-on-one training. Then I went to group training. Now I have a mentorship. And, you know, just one thing leads to another because your clients will tell you what they need. And you may write one course and they're like, well, no, how do I do this? And then take them to the next one. Before you know it, I went from one course on my other program to 17 or 18 courses. Yeah. Yes. Even with Kreators Klub, right now, you'll currently see there are, I think it's 17, but I have 3 more that I need to record and upload. So the more and more that you teach, the more and more that you get involved in your community, they will let you know what they need. And it's so funny, I wrote a mystery shopping course on my other platform. And it's the courses that you would not think was going to do the best are the best. It's so funny. People made so much money from that course. So if you write the course in a way where your people will win, you will win, okay? Anything you do in your business, always give more. Always give more. If you're giving away too much information, that means you don't know enough about the topic, okay? Because I can sit here and talk about this for 2 years and still have more. Because I actually do it too. So every day when I'm doing something, I may start a project and the project doesn't go the way I want it to, or I spent money. I've done a couple of projects where it's like, dog, I hate I wasted all that money on it. But then too, it really wasn't a waste of money. It was just a learning experience. So it's an expensive learning experience, but nonetheless, I learned something from it. Okay. So again, to do this business full time, just pick something that you're naturally good at. I've given you some different ways that I make money. Again, in the digital space, that's courses, teaching via Zoom. You don't have to do in person. You can eventually if you want to. But I do just about everything on Zoom from my laptop. People never know where I'm working from because most of the things I do, I can do right from my laptop, right here on my cell phone. Everything is content. I take my phone everywhere. You have your phone everywhere you go, right? Don't you take your phone everywhere? So you should be able to get some content every day, even if you're not speaking or talking. So all of that's going to help you to do this thing full time. And we talked about it in a previous video too. Full time does not mean that you have to full time physically be doing something, but you do have to full time have your business on your mind and your mind on your business. Okay. Because I get very little downtime. I'm constantly thinking, what can I do to better my business? You know, constantly. My husband like, can you turn it off? I'm like, no, I can't. I try to. Lord knows I try to, but it's hard because your girl got that mind. And that's why I decided to create the Kreators Klub, because I just and very passionate about helping people in this digital space. I'm sick of seeing teenagers and babies making money, and us older people, or those of the 30, 40, 50-year-olds, 60, 70-year-olds, are scared to talk. They're scared to talk, and they got so much knowledge, so much information to share. So I'm like, I'm going to help you get in the dirt with you. We're going to build this thing up from the ground. Okay? So for all things related to online business, the resources, get in the club where it's happening, join the community. I am Coach Kimmi, and I will see you next time, okay? Don't stop creating. Bye.